Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the first live NocoShow. We are here with Cassie from KissCass
Hi.
Cosplay, and we're going to do some rundown on the cosplay contest for this year. We've made some cool changes to the rules, so we're going to talk about how you go through the process, what the judging's like, little bit about the stage thing, the actual cosplay contest part, and answer some of your guys' questions. So yeah, good times. We will try to cover as much as possible for anybody who views this later. If you do have questions and missed the live show, you can always reach out to us in the Discord. There's a section specifically for cosplay contests. That's the link to it is on the website and on the Facebook page, and we'll be happy to help you out. But for the time being, hello, Cassie. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, it's all right. This is fun doing the live thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've done, it's funny because with my job, I do live, like back and forth, like trainings with people every day. But I feel like an interview like this is a completely different scope. So it's like it has a whole different vibe to it.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you there. It's a little different. I normally do these like pre-recorded because everybody's schedule is different, but we really wanted to try to get the Q&A thing with an interactive audience. So felt like it'd be fun to try out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Alrighty. So I guess let's start with how a cosplayer goes about getting into the contest.
Yep. So there's a couple different ways to go about it depending on how they're going to be entering the contest because we have it broken up a little bit differently this year. So we've taken aspects from different events or things that we've kind of attended and think have worked well because I've worked several events over the years that kind of do different things. So I've picked bits and pieces that I liked from different events and kind of put them together for this show. And we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to go great. So we have categories for crafting and non-crafting. So for crafting, there's going to be the prerequisite that they do have to register, which is really easy. They can come to, I believe it's the merchandise booth. They can also come and check in with the cosplay judges as well if they have any questions at our booth, and they'd be able to just sign up on the form. Uh, Pretty straightforward form, nothing too crazy. So they're going to ask them some questions about their costume, their character, things like that. And this year we're going to do it a little bit different. We want to take into account people's need to be comfortable. We don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. I know from experience, like different like a contest that I've been to as well, that sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, especially for someone with social anxiety, to have someone come up and start touching all over you unexpectedly or even expectedly. So we're going to go about it a kind of a different route when we go through and actually do the prejudging this year as well.
Cool, cool. Yeah, that ought to make things a lot more streamlined for the actual
Yeah,
contest too, because then we can have the like the presentation on stage and most everything will already be ready to go. We won't have to have a long intermission between the appearance and the actual awards
correct.
part. Yeah.
And that will give the cosplayers time to actually experience the con too. So instead of kind of waiting to go through the whole prejudging process and that whole standing in line to have that happen, they'll be able to walk around and enjoy the convention more, which is something that I feel is really important and something I always missed out on when I would have to go through that process as well. So I think it's something that everyone will kind of enjoy more.
Yeah, yeah, I think so too. I've seen a number of other conventions. I try to go to as many as I possibly can, meet new vendors, connect with other showrunners, and so forth. And all too often, I see cosplayers who they're just tied up in the contest, so they end up just waiting around all day for the contest, and they miss all the cool stuff like the other stage performances or the panels or the gaming and etc. And I mean, it's worth it, I think, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as for the people who don't want to go for the crafting side of things, how does it work for them?
So for them, we just need them to pop over so that we know that they're going to really be participating because the non-crafting category is a little more easy and lax. So it's for the people that don't necessarily have 75% of their costume made, but still enjoy cosplaying, still enjoy being their character, and want to show off the characters that they love. So that category, we just need to know who they are. That way we can actually call them up on stage. And then if they want to give a little show or give information about their character, we'd be more than happy to have that. So it's a completely different structure than the crafting category. So there's no need for the pressure of having someone to look over to your costume. We just want to learn more about you and your character.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Now, do we know I apologize for being slightly unprepared, but I just tracked down this year's rules shortly before the show. I misplaced them, and it turns out I put them on the website. Who would guess, right? And yeah, that's noco-con.com for anybody who wants to go check those out. But it's got the basic rundown of what we just covered. And, we're going to have a number of different prizes in different categories.
Yes.
It looks like we've got most creative, best performance. So, performances, of course, are welcome. Best group, funniest cosplayer, crowd favorite. So, come see the show. You get a vote too. And
Mm-hmm.
best prop. And then for the crafting level only, there's the three, because there's three judges' choice awards. And then runner up and the big crown victory best in show, which will be
Mm-hmm.
presented by last year's big winner. I have a video thing here somewhere. Let's see. I got to turn this off, and then I'll put this over here. And this is the video from last year's show, which had a slightly different procedure, different judges, and so on. But it gives a general idea of what we'll be dealing with. We've got our judges up on stage. I don't know why the video's running all choppy like that. It's supposed to be preloaded, but hey, live broadcasting, it's a fun time. But this is where we've got. Oh, I think this is actually the awards ceremony. I meant to show the actual people walking across the stage part. So I will switch to that one. And we'll jump ahead a little bit. That's the judges walking up onto stage. And, we had Andromeda, who will be a judge again this year, and Tay Chibs and Delganier. Jeez, why can I never pronounce his name? He had to pick a weird name. Delganier. Anyway, they were the judges last year. This year it'll be Lady Andromeda, Cassie, and who's the third one again?
Maria.
Okay, I haven't met the person, so it's just not in my brain. Too much multitasking. And there's our other director, James, doing the emceeing. We're going to have a dedicated MC this year, I do believe. But you can see the line of people all set to come up on stage. We've got this is a group, family group. And I do believe they did win an award. But, of course, this is last year's stuff. It's just to demonstrate generally how it's done. You get called up on stage, you do your thing, and then we move along to the next person. Now, last year we did have a little photo booth set up that you can kind of see in the background. Anybody who wanted like a professional photo in their cosplay during the contest, we could do that. And then we put up a gallery on the website and on the Facebook page for any cosplayer who wanted a copy of their own photos. We're going to try to do that again this year, but it's not for sure because many multitasking, lots of people doing things, and that particular spot is already spoken for. That's where the new Starforge Arena is going to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
I'm
And
really
yeah,
looking
that's an
forward to
example
that.
of one of the photos after the fact. Okay, well, that runs. We're doing the children's cosplay on Sunday this year, yes?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the same day as last year, but what have we got going on with that? Is it a similar procedure?
Kind of. So it's not really pre-reg. We're a little more lenient with kids because kids a lot of the time like to do this for fun, and we want to make sure that they have a fun experience that they remember. So with the kids contest, they don't have to pre-reg. They just show up for the contest. We've got awards for the children too. So like the spookiest or scariest cosplayer, the cutest cosplayer, the funniest, original character design, because kids are so creative. They come up with some amazing concepts. So we'd like to
Hmm.
see some of that. And then also best stage performers, because you'll always run into a few kids that are really great at just getting a crowd going or get really into their character. And it's always fun to like see them in action.
Oh, absolutely. I remember we did a mini convention at the Salmon Run Mall last year, and some of the kids for the kids part of the cosplay contest for that were just incredible. They just like owned the space, and one of the winners was actually a winner at the previous show, as she did a hybrid of a mermaid and a, I can't remember what her other part was, but yeah, it was a hybrid character, and it was really really cool. And yeah, it just can blow you away, some of the stuff they come up with. Not to take anything away from the adults. Obviously, the adults in the Watertown area are very very talented as well. And yeah, but if you're new to cosplay, absolutely do come and participate anyway. You don't have to be in the contest. You could just do the walk across the stage thing. You could just attend the show. Cosplay is for everyone. It's part of what makes conventions awesome, is seeing people in the things they love and interacting with them and showing off the things you love, if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, I honestly I love seeing cosplayers, even if they're not competing, like seeing them in different characters. Because sometimes I find that I'll find a cosplayer that is cosplaying someone that I love, like from a series that I enjoy, and I get really excited when I see them because then I'm like, oh my goodness, I was like, I've never seen anyone cosplay from that. I didn't even know anyone knew about this series, and I get really excited about it. So I just love to see it. Um, and I like to see the creativity that people bring to their costumes. So it's always just so much fun seeing everybody that shows up in costume for the shows.
Oh, for sure. I definitely relate. I remember the first time I went to Ithacon, which incidentally is tomorrow for those of you in the southern part of the state. Um, but yeah, there was a person there who was cosplaying Ambassador Londo Mollari from Babylon 5, and I was like, oh my god, someone else has even seen this show, because none of my nerdy friends ever talk about it. And it turns out she's actually a member of the Emerald Empire cosplay group, who will also be returning this year. They do Star Wars and related things. Her alternate character is an Imperial officer, but there's also Mandalorian people, there's stormtroopers. They're a wonderful group of folks. And there's other Star Wars groups that'll be along as well. We have a question from the live chat. For the crafting category, does it have to be at least 75% of your cosplay in order to enter the category, or can it be 50% crafted and still enter for crafting?
So for craftsmanship, it has to be 75%. So we want the majority of your costume to be handmade to qualify for that category. And that's part of the reason that we have the other category that's all encompassing. So even if you haven't fully made your costume or had that much of it handmade, you still have the opportunity to go up on stage and show your craft. And there are other prizes within that category too. So it's, even if it's not 75% made, your costume could be the most creative costume. So you could have like all these intricate parts that we look at and we love too. And we'd be like, whoa, that's so cool. And you do have an opportunity to win a prize that way too.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. The majority of prizes are going to go to general everybody, both
Mm-hmm.
crafting and regular. But the top prize, of course, has to be in the crafting category. And I don't want to spoil anything, but this next year's Best in Show award, because of course our number one award, one of the things that sets it apart is you can actually wear it on your cosplay at
Yes.
other events to show off how cool you are, and this one will be pretty neat. Last year's was really neat too. It was produced by Clip Clocks, who's a returning vendor this year. She produces wonderful stuff, but we'll get into that when we do the vendor feature a little while later. But yeah, this year's should be really, really neat. And yeah, Michaela says thank you. So
You're
yeah, appreciate the
welcome.
question, Michaela. And we have speak of the Star Wars people. We have Jim from Starforge Sabers, the sponsor of the Starforge Arena, who is going to be in that spot right next to the stage, and he's super excited. And we love to see it because I tell you, the first year we did the show at the zoo, and I stayed up all night with one of the other organizers making pool noodle lightsabers, and kids just loved it. It was fantastic. But we ended up giving them all away, and then the next year, our first year in the arena here, we had Jim and Starforge sabers, and just everyone had lightsabers and was just murdering everyone else all over the place, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited for them to come back. They were a great attraction last year. I was eyeing their stuff from across the way the whole time I was working last year. It was so great.
I know. I didn't have time to stop by, and there's always a crowd at the Starforge Sabers booth.
Yeah.
So I couldn't drop in at the time, so I had to catch them at another event to actually get my own lightsaber. Which unfortunately is out of reach over there, but that's okay. But yeah, Jim says best Star Wars cosplay for the 40th anniversary, because it's the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi this year, which is why there's so much emphasis on Star Wars stuff. It's also the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who and the 25th anniversary of Babylon 5, for those of you who want to make an anniversary themed outfit, especially for the show. We've still got 5 weeks and change, maybe 6 weeks, something
Yep.
like that. I'm bad at calendars too, but
Well, it's okay. And it's pretty common with cosplay too. Like our joke is cosplay procrastination. Like I feel like cosplayers thrive in the panic of getting close to con and create some of their best things during that time period. Like I've been playing out, so I'm hopefully going to have a new costume for this year. I'm really excited about. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a surprise, but it's one that I've kind of had on my list for a while now. But I've been like going through it and I'm like, yeah, I've got all this time to work on it, and I've got all these things like set aside. I've picked out like patterns, and I've got all these like accoutrements for it. But I guarantee, like leading up to the convention, probably the last few weeks leading up to it as well, I will be sitting at my kitchen table either sewing something or stitching something hand on or doing rhinestones or whatever it is. I'll be there.
I feel you. My youngest, who's also one of our Discord admins, is working on something special for this year, and it's probably going to be under construction until right up until the show.
Yeah.
But this is last year's Best in Show winner, Fizz Lily Cosplays. And she went on to compete in and place in a number of other shows after this, so that was really cool to hear. We have an interview with her coming up in the regularly scheduled non-live version of the NocoShow, which you can find on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Nococon, which is also linked on the website and everywhere else. Man, this whole shilling thing, it takes extra work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's speak of the devil. There's my creature right there. And Jim says that he thinks he might do a prize for the kids cosplay contest.
They would love that.
Yeah, best Star Wars cosplay for the kids. So yeah, that'll be pretty neat. You realize, Jim, we're going to end up with a ton of tiny stormtroopers and Kylo Rens who are probably going to cut all our ankles off. It'll be cute as hell, though.
Isn't that goals though?
Yeah, I can imagine. Oh, if we end up with one Darth Vader, they're just going to have an entourage.
Yeah.
It'll be fantastic. But we're not without defenses, because also at the Starforge Arena is going to be the Ludo Sports of the Finger Lakes, who they're an international organization. They basically fence with lightsabers. So you're not only going to be able to do combat with your friends in the arena, but you'll also be able to learn from people who actually do this as a sport and learn some of the ways that you can use a lightsaber effectively for fencing. So that will be really, really cool. Whole bunch of good stuff. But yeah, I wanted to have Fizz Lily cosplays on the screen here so that we could have a gander. Those big old gloves are. I mean, yeah.
I love her gloves, and I love her wig too. Like I admired it when I saw her last year too. It's styled so nicely, and wigs are so difficult. So to see someone be able to get like it up and over without their wefts showing, that's good work right there.
Yeah, yeah, there's a ton of detail on that. So it was absolutely just really really cool. So I mean, I don't get a vote. The judges do all of that, but I wholeheartedly approve. That was very good stuff. Let's see. This one. Yeah, this one's the award presentation ceremony, which of course in this case will take place right after the showcase, I guess,
Yep.
for lack of a better term. And yeah, basically we'll just go through and call off awards, and you get to come up on stage. Now, for anybody who did participate last year, in your folders, there's not just a certificate, but there's also a code on the side of your certificate. I've been keeping an eye on our ticket site to see code redemptions, and not many people have redeemed their codes for like a free pass or a free weekend pass or a VIP pass in the case of the best in show winner. If you won and you misplaced your certificate and forgot your code, reach out to me, director@nococon.com, with the dash in there, just like on the website address, and I will look up your code for you because we want you to get the thing that you won. That's part of your prize package. So yeah, it feel free to bug me. It's all good. Let's see. Jim has more to say. So many amazing cosplayers. I can't wait to see everyone in a little more than a month. Absolutely. And we still have secrets to unveil. We've got announcements to make. The vendor announcement is coming out, so you get to see all the cool artists and crafters who are going to be there this year. We've got our featured artist Matt Flint has produced exclusive brand new artwork that is just magnifique. That's got to be unveiled. We've still got interviews with Forrest Valkai, Panda Red, Fizz Lily Cosplays, and others coming up. The event schedule, there's just so much. But I really, really wanted to do a special episode for the cosplay contest because that's always such a huge thing.
And like the prizes are kind of like a surprise this year. Obviously, like closer to the con, we'll announce what the prizes are, but it is being sponsored by Larger Than Life. So we have a really good prize pool this year. In fact, over $1,500 is being given in prizes this year. So that's pretty awesome, I would say. So if you're coming in cosplay, if you're comfortable, please see us. Please sign up for the costume contest. We'd love to see you. Please.
Hmm.
Everybody has a good opportunity to win something this year.
Yeah, yeah, and it's absolutely worth a shot because like the worst that happens is you get fame and glory and applause from the crowd.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm very pleased Larger Than Life is sponsoring this year. They of course will be at the convention, like all of our other sponsors, artists, crafters, and so forth. But they also have two physical locations in Destiny USA in Syracuse and across the street from the former Great Northern Mall in Clay.
Yeah.
Route 31 near Cicero. So if you're near either of those areas, do check out their store because it's awesome inside. I went there in person just to drop off promotional materials for this, if nothing else. So yeah, they're both very cool locations, and we appreciate them very, very much. Alrighty, I think we've covered pretty much all the bases. I'm just double checking all over the internet to see if any more questions have come in. But it looks like we're good. So is there anything else you would like to add?
Uh, it's my brain trying to like, the gears are turning.
Pending processing.
Pending processing. What do I say? The only thing I would like to add is just to continue on is that this is an inclusive contest. So everybody has an opportunity to participate. If you have any sort of requirements or if you feel uncomfortable with anything, please let the judges know and we'd be more than happy to work with you. I've worked in situations too where people entered the contest but weren't necessarily okay with walking on stage. They had anxiety, and that's perfectly fine. We'll work with you if you want to enter the craftsmanship. We're very understandable, and we want you to be able to feel comfortable and feel safe for the contest.
Yeah, absolutely. We really mean it when we say cosplay is for everyone. We want everybody to have a good time, and I think it will be a fantastic time. one piece among many. It's just,
Yes.
oh, I'm so excited for this show. It's going to be by far the. I mean, last year was great, but this show is just going to orders of magnitude more awesome. I'm so excited.
There's
Okay.
so much to do and so much to see.
Oh, for real. Yeah,
Yeah.
we are deliberately going out of our way to make it so that even if you get a weekend pass, it is not possible to see and do everything. You're absolutely allowed to take a break, take a rest, but you will never have to be bored. That's my personal mission with this show is I've been to shows and I won't cast shade on the specific shows, but there once you do the things then you're done and you're just bored and I do not want that to happen at a show that I have any say in. Alrighty. Well, thank you for joining us, Cassie. Before we go, where can people find you and your works?
Yep. So I've got a couple different places. I post on Instagram more than anything. Same handle, KissCass.Cos. I'm also on Facebook, so you can find my KissCass Cosplay Facebook page. Can't miss me. I cosplay as an elf a lot, so all my pictures are elves. Pretty distinguishable. It's one of my favorite fantasy characters to do. And if you guys have any questions in the interim, just like with Ember, please feel free to reach out to me. Like I said, I'm always available online at any point in time. I also have my email, kisscasscosplay@gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to people in the future who will be viewing this later. I hope we covered all the bases for you. And if not, of course, bug us anytime. And of course, do tune in next week for shoot, I forget who we have scheduled. It's on the YouTube page. It's already scheduled as a premiere for the next week's video. But yeah, lots more interviews and other information as we count down the days to Nococon 2023. Thank you guys and have a lovely evening.
Set a course for our YouTube channel for interviews with more guests and featured creators bringing the